Can you talk about the subject of destiny? For example, are there different kinds of destinies?
Yeah, it's like karma. There are different levels of karma, different purposes of karma. You have individual destiny, what you're doing with yourself, or by yourself, or as yourself. And that means with your family spirits, whatever that might be for you. See? So what you do, you're doing because you had a mother who empowered you with what you need to do and how to do it with the body and all of that. So whatever you do for you, you're doing for your mother as well, and your father perhaps, for your parents. Because you weren't born out of yourself, so you're born through family line, and so this is blood. Everything. Most people, the destiny is to fulfill the higher purpose or the material purpose of the blood. That's basic destiny.
Is all of life destiny?
Well, it depends on what you mean by destiny. Is all of life part of a time and space machinery, a karmic machinery? Of course. The universe is a machine. No question about it. It's a time machine. The universe is a time machine. Life is time machinery. Lifetime, it's called. That means machine. Right? Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock machine. Brainwave. Machinery. Yeah, and the higher levels of, let's say, destiny or purpose. See? There's planetary purpose. There's solar systemal purpose. See? And that's what we need to be aware of. When is a person's destiny really part of the solar system? And yet nobody knows the person, but it's obvious they're coming from a solar system. That means the solar system is working through them. Yeah. But not necessarily or immediately for the sake of everybody else. So it's not something that needs to be done in some kind of grandiose way, particularly. See, to be solar systemal doesn't mean that. In other words, you can be on Earth, but working for higher forces that are like way beyond anybody's understanding. Or interest, for that matter, and then serving a purpose down here because of your particular, whatever it is, position in the universe, on Earth. See? And so we're talking about that level of fine, let's say, interaction, where a lot of what it is not to be seen and heard. See? And maybe a little of what it is to be seen and heard. Does that make sense? It should.
I think so.
Right.
So
So you see the powers that be, the real powers that be even on the earth are behind the scenes. They're not up there for, target practice. They're smart. Yeah. Everything that you see is the effect of something else. Every appearance is the effect of, or the result of something. Long line of whatever it is. So this music I'm playing here, this, what would appear to be non-conventional music, has a long line. Very, very long line. Deep roots, see, into the fabric of the solar system and the earth. Very deep.
is the purpose of spiritual practice to awaken one to their destiny?
Well, that depends on what you mean by it. We just said it can be anything. If it is your destiny to go towards the path of spirit, then that's your destiny, let's say. But that doesn't mean it's a planetary destiny necessarily. You can make it that if you can get up on that scale. And you make your contribution at that level, then that's what it is for you. And that depends on whether or not you're willing to be isolated enough and to deal with the forces of destiny in that way, where it's just you. Because that's all they're interested in. If you're not willing to make the sacrifice for them, right, the forces, right, they're not interested.
Is there a free will component to one's destiny?
Yes or no? It would have to be that way. Because you do and you don't. You are and you are not. It is and it isn't. And we've heard many are called, but few are chosen. And I've said that out of the few that are chosen, fewer can do what is asked of them. So to be chosen is not enough. To be able to do, as a leader, let's say, as a member of the higher, let's say, hierarchy, see, where it's not about social, it's not about peeps, it's just you and it, right? Deity, right? Having a deity resonance, that's different. Yeah. And it's like incarnating a deity in a sense, in your case, as an individual. See? And it's all symbolic, so it's a certain kind of higher symbology. See? And this is part of our process on our way back to, let's say, spiritual divinity. I'm using medieval terms, but they're useful in this case. Yeah. So it's you and God, as such. It's you as God in a certain way, but not God over anybody else, but it's you and the light itself, and what you have to do from that for others. See? Without concern for your ego, because then there's no you involved in it. See? And you're okay with that, you're complicit with it. You are in a very, very higher form of compromise. Say, yes, I live my life for the sake of others, kind of like the Bodhisattva ideal. It may be different context, but same principle. It's no longer about you and yourself, it's about it and itself, and how it will do things. Contrary to your biology, contrary to your mentality, contrary to your emotionality, and all of that. Okay. Not interested in that, although it will use of you what it chooses to use as spirit.
So would you say then that one's destiny is a karmic contract?
Well, we're in time. This is a time universe, so of course it's all about times. You have a heart. You have a timer right here, so here's a contract is to live with so many heartbeats. See? So that you can do as much work as you can do for yourself, or maybe itself, and then get out of this body, get out of this machine, get into another level of the machinery, let's say, or heaven. Yeah.
Would you make a distinction between destiny and fate?
Well, the words that mean the same thing to some degree. If it's your fate, if it's your destiny, if it's your karma, if it's your will, if it's your choice, if it's your creation, they all mean the same thing. That means you set it up. You okayed it to happen through you or relative to you. Whether that's to be held back or to be pushed forward. See? It's okay with you. So you're not more or less your contract.
And why might one agree to be held back?
What is that? For others, you might agree to be held back. When you fall in love, when you want to be with somebody, you want to take your time, right? You want to settle down, you want to be there for somebody else. Right? You never know whose time you're taking when you're doing that. You might find out later. You might not. You've heard of the way being straight and narrow, right? It's straight and narrow, unless you change it and you make it crooked for yourself. The straight and narrow becomes, ooh, ooh, for me, and I think I want to go here and do that, and so I'll come around and I'll get there at some point, but not now. Comment?
So it seems like destiny and choice sometimes are at loggerheads with one another.
It really depends on how long you want to take to do something. You may have a destiny to do something. You may take forever to do it. You'll only know when you know. And they say better late than never, but when better never late also. See? So we can say, for instance, as an astrologer, I see charts. I used to say, no, I like to say I'm retired, I don't do that anymore, but on rare occasions I have to. So I take a look at it, I see what's destined according to the ancient wisdom science, according to this. It's not about your sun sign, It's more indications of that. It's deeper than that. See? So this is not about your sun sign, but it is related to your sun sign because it's the time you're born. You have a sun sign. The reason for the sun sign is to enable you to see everything else. The sun sign is a key, right, and unlock the door of the mansion. That's what it does. It unlocks the door to the mansion. See? And then it's a matter of knowing what it is that you have to see. And that's what this is about to some degree. And you say, well, I don't think I'm going to go in the kitchen now, but I have the mansion at my disposal. I'm not going to the bathroom yet. I'm just going to stay in the shower for a few ages. Something like that. Take your time because it is on you, the individual. So it's free will to a certain degree, but then you're destined. I mean, at some point you're going to have to meet your destiny. And what that was indicated as, right, in the planetary configuration, for better and for worse. Say, well, I knew that, but I didn't want to do that. That's on you. Or anybody. And I was early in my time wise enough to see that I had to do certain things, even though I didn't like it. I didn't like what I saw, but I said, I better do this and get this out of the way. And move on to what I feel I'm here to do, which is to be in retreat. See, not hiding from people, but working differently, away from other peeps and their trips. So we're talking about knowing your own trip well enough to be able to handle your own trip. And work from your own trip and utilize your trip to be a down payment for what you know is best for you and other beings as time goes by. And this is it. This is for the sake of others, let's say. But you better have something. It's not like just that. We're going to say, okay, for the sake of others, what does that mean? What does that mean? What do you have for the sake of others? Music? Yeah, we do. A lot of music. Nobody wants to hear. It's in code. It's coded music. Encoded. Good? Thank you. Shoot.